Hi, I'm Yafa Lawson, and I will be talking about character analysis. And my character, Brandon Stratford, is who I want to bring emphasis on. So I'm uploading it right now. And Brandon Stratford is the all-American white guy in my fantasy fiction. Okay, his personality, calm and collective guy who enjoys the simple things in life. He doesn't have to be fancy, even though he can afford to be. He loves wearing blue jeans and white t-shirts with sneakers, even when he's out on a date with a Kua. And he will dress up for business dealings and other formal events, but casual self-branding is how he likes it. He has a humble demeanor, but that can be a weapon that will kill his enemies. For example, Mateo Costin appears jealous of Brandon when they are introduced for the first time by Kevin Salvage. And Kevin and Mateo are an item. And Brandon can see the jealousy and aggressiveness in Mateo's tone of voice. And as Mateo throws subtle insults at him, but Brandon offers to leave to keep the peace. So if he had to confront Mateo, he would become physically aggressive, and he doesn't want that. But if Mateo had to keep pushing him, or anyone pushing Brandon, he will fight back, and it will not be nice. In fact, he's so much humble that he could kill you, like I said, his enemies. Brandon's relationship with Akua, they've been together for 2 years. They met at a gay club, Club Paradise. In fact, Kevin, Kua, and Brandon met that night. Kua is an online student meeting up with classmates while Brandon is just hanging out by himself. They bump into one another. They go inside the club. Kua is there for entertainment and just something to do while Brandon is trying to figure out what he wants in a future relationship, whether he wants to explore his relationship with other men. And so he's just there. And they join one another to watch the performance. And they meet Lively Kevin, and they stay and help him clean up, and that becomes a three amigos, sort of speak, relationship. And there's more to that situation. Um, the history of Brandon. So it's implied by Kua, who's always has this voice since the last two books. And the next book, Brandon will finally have his narrative voice. But according to Kua, Brandon was in his early 20s. He had went on a mission. He comes from a well-established Mormon foundation. And while on his mission, he's engaged to a white female. Now, she doesn't say white female, but, you assume him being white. He was married to someone, he was engaged to someone white. And when he came back, she he found out she was in a relationship with another brother in the church, and that caused a lot of disturbance within him, a stumbling block spiritually. It made him question things. Now there's more to that in this third book. It's going to dive deeper when you hear Brandon's side of that story. um, but basically he's 4 years old when he gets involved in a serious relationship again, and that's with Akua, of course. And it's funny that they met at the gay club too, because that sets a tone. What's going on with Brandon? Why is he's this soft-spoken guy, but his mind is everywhere. And maybe the reason why his first relationship didn't make it is never stated. However, Kua got to him first. Um, okay. Brandon's parents are very nice, all American family, positive outlook. They try to accept everybody, try not to come off prejudice. Their oldest child, Brandon's eldest sister, only sister, as a lesbian. And his parents accept her. That that's not something they want for their daughter, but they don't criticize her for it. They try to be understanding about it. Um, Brandon's father is up for bishop promotion, and their sexuality is a stain on his reputation. But with Brandon, he introduced him to Kua, so that kind of wipes away that if he's gay or not or what he wants to be, and that just it's kind of applied by Kevin in the first book that okay, both of the kids are gay. They must be proud. He makes a sarcastic remark about it, but with Akua, her uh, her thoughts on that is that they accepted her because it was better than accepting him being gay. So, but we're gonna find out Brandon's perspective on all that. Um, he provides for Akua. She brings out the daring side of him. However, she can be a little too flashy. She grew up lacking family, money, and the better side of life. While Brandon had those things and don't really think much of it. So Brandon grew up in a upper middle class family, and even though it might seem like a stereotype in today's world, but this is my fantasy fiction, he provides Akua with an excellent lifestyle. Akua lacks that a sense of belonging, and with Brandon, she received that. So it's kind of like she feeds off of him, and so the relationship was helpful for her to get involved and to bring herself up, and it was helpful for him to understand where he needed to go in his sexuality and how to be normal. So they both were using each other in so many ways, and I'm kind of thinking about that more so in this third book of what direction I'm gonna go with that. But nevertheless, Kevin says that Brandon provides cool a lavish lifestyle. He's very jealous of their relationship, and there's just this big issue going on right now. Um, Kevin claims that Brandon had wanted to dump Akua for a long time, and so it's implied that Brandon had broke up with her, got back with her, broke up with her, got back with her, and then Akua had her own infidelity issues with him too. So it was like some type of dysfunctionality there, but finally they get it together. It seems. Now he has a higher power belief. He believes in Christianity, uh, but in the back of his mind, he has this kinky nature and desire to be with both sexes, which Christianity frowns upon. He doesn't discuss his business openly with others, so he comes off like the perfect, normal, everyday guy who goes to church. Um, and all his dirty laundry is in his closet, covered up, but should be. Finally, Brandon Stratford is a good man. He minds his own business, and like I said, he only gets involved if necessary, or if somebody's getting hurt, or somebody's in his face, forcing him to have to get aggressive with them. Again, in my latest series, Vampire Belong in the Healing Portal, Brandon will have a narrative voice throughout the story. It will be interesting how he views circumstance versus Kua. So I have to think for a middle-aged white guy who, as well as a middle-aged black woman and other people. And it's really fun. So I thought I'd share that. Thank you for listening.